Japan. So we'll start there, Fumi, if you don't mind. Is that cool?
Oh, sure, sure,
Okay.
sure.
All right. So I was really green in the business, and I was actually working for AWA, Verne Gagne's organization out of Minnesota. I think it was over in the Golden Valley area. And Vern was very good. He was very good to us girls. I mean, he gave us a lot of TV time. In fact, my first paycheck, I mean, I was so broke. I was living out of my car by this time. And my first paycheck, like from the Cow Palace Wrestling Sherry Martel, was $800. I nearly lost it. I mean, even back then, $800. $800 is a lot right
Was
now, but
yeah, it was that's a good one.
that is really good. And Vern was good. He was
I
so
thought I
good
was
to
gonna
us.
say 300, 350. No,
If
800.
that, right? That's, yeah,
Yeah,
probably
if
not
that.
even that usually.
Yeah,
But so $800 at the Cow Palace,
one
and
match.
one match, 10 minutes with Sherry. And I took that money and I bought graveyard markers for the Michelli family, because every time I visited my aunt and grandmother and grandfather, I never knew where they were at. And I was just walking all over them. So I bought, that was the money. That's what I did with that first paycheck. So there, I believe Chigusa was on a tour.
A tour.
She
Yeah,
was on a like an American tour, and she was making her footing, and trying to find and do women's wrestling and trying to find American women to wrestle,
yeah.
and
More
perhaps,
international opponent.
yes, and she was looking
Yeah,
for an international opponent, and perhaps one that she kind of gelled with, or she kind of liked, and that she thought maybe would be great over in Japan. Well, somehow, some way, she chose this green girl, and I really
yeah.
believe,
That happened in Las Vegas that you met.
yes, it was in Las
Uh,
Vegas at the
yeah.
Showboat,
We're talking about
correct?
Justin Chigusa Nagayo, one half
Mm.
of famous Crash Girls.
The
And this
Crush
was
Girls,
right after Crush Girls.
1987, yeah,
88, 88-ish, yeah.
87, 88, yeah.
Yeah, you already had like a 2-year run with the AWA, territory and as a champion.
Yes. And so I think there is a big backstory to that, because when I got into wrestling, I was going into nursing, and was transitioning from, mending bones to breaking them. I did a lot of due diligence, and all I had to really do is try to find VHS tapes of women in Japan, because I heard all the boys talking that if you wanted to be taken legitimate, if you want to become something, if you even can get your foot in the door in Japan, that would be the best thing in your career. And as soon as I heard that, I'm like, all right, I need to check it out. So I got some VHS tapes. There wasn't much, to watch from too many Americans before, but I believe the Leilanis were over there, intermittently,
Judy, yeah.
and Judy and so forth and whatever. So I got to watch some other women, and I thought, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to go. Not even knowing that I was going to get a job with Vern, not even knowing I was going to run into Chigusa. So fast forward to that, watching those videotapes, I remember seeing one of the Japanese girls go to the top corner turnbuckle, and she did a body splash onto the concrete. And I'm like, that's sick. That's crazy. That's stupid. Oh my God. So I don't know what I was thinking. I never did it before. When I was wrestling Chigusa, I climbed up the corner turnbuckle, and she was on the outside. She knew what I was going to do. I didn't know what I was going to do. And I thought I would try a cross body. Basically, I tell myself that that's what sold. That's what sold
Oh,
him. Said,
really?
that's what I tell myself. But
Yeah.
that's probably why they invited me over, because I was some crazy bitch. Like, look at this American. She actually did it. No
When
other.
you first met Chigusa, she had this ninja costume, and
She
you
had a ninja
said,
costume on,
yeah,
and it was
and
very intimidating, but she was
sure,
so soft spoken. She was so kind. She was amazing. And when I went back to speak to the brothers, the Matsunaga brothers were there,
yeah.
and Ogawa, or
Owner.
one of them was, and Ogawa was. And I remember his eyes always get big like this, and he goes like this with his glasses and stuff. And he's
Rossi.
like,
Yeah.
Rossi Ogawa. Ogawa-san. Did I say Ogawa-san? That's so weird. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
that's fine.
and I'm so used to it. So he's like, "You okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "You come to Japan?" And I'm like, yeah, hell yeah." And so we did intermittent tours a couple times, and then finally
Yeah, that was
they spoke.
the first one was January of 1989.
God, how
Yeah,
do you remember this crap?
I'm pretty good at that.
1980, no, actually 88,
89.
89.
No,
88,
it was
89.
89. It was January of '89. You had the first long tour. The second,
Oh yeah.
second tour, that they already wanted to sign you. And then it's like, when I heard, I thought you were just doing tours, like back and forth. And then Rossi said, no, she's moving here. She's moving here. I mean, to live, to live. And now all of a sudden she's got an apartment right
by the
block from the office.
Yeah.
Yeah, office. Yeah. That apartment doesn't exist anymore. But
it don't?
anyhow,
I was wondering that.
No, that's gone.
Is it gone. Really?
And All Japan building was 2 buildings, and
with
one
the
in
restaurant,
dojo, one with the bus, restaurant, office, the dormitory up there.
Yeah,
the entire place is gone.
It is.
Yeah, Azubu like a 2005. Yeah, it's a big parking lot now. There's a payphone, the phone booth. If you remember, like the phone booth right in front of the office. That still exists.
That's still there.
That's still there.
I gotta go. When I come to Japan, I gotta go to that phone booth.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to
the whole neighborhood. Yeah, but anyhow, they brought you in.
They brought me in. Yeah. It was amazing. I didn't know what to expect, but I knew that I could adjust to any situation.
Part of the reason was that Crash Girls, Chigusa Nagayo and Lioness Asuka individually was slowly retiring, and Rossi had this plan to bring you in and do what they did with Crash Girls, that singing in the ring. And they're doing the albums, the photo books,
shoot,
the photo books, the videos, the TV documentary, the whole 9 years.
Yeah, and
one
so
by one it happened. Remember?
They did, and I was so taken back by that. I wasn't used to all of that, right? And that's what they did over in Japan. They marketed the hell out of you, like it was everything. It just kept coming and coming and coming. I mean, I can't sing worth crap, but it was part of the marketing thing. Is and it was so much that photo books, and I was shy about it, but it was just kind of a little risque, but it worked. But it was pretty amazing because I had more of a culture shock when I went back to the States than I did come over to Japan. Really? I did, because I don't know if I ever told you that. When I moved to Japan, I was ready because I didn't have anything to lose in the States. I didn't have a father, I didn't have brothers or sisters. I was, and my mother was estranged, it's just, I was like, I could adapt to anything. And I did. I was just, do. Yeah, okay. And I was there. I was a hard worker. I worked hard. I wanted to train hard. And I did my best. And I wanted more and more and more. And my heart will always be there. However, but when my tour was done in Japan, I am not kidding. I had a really hard time adjusting back to the States. And I call it the Japanese experience because back then I would fly Northwest Airlines, which are no more in existence. It's Delta bought them. Yeah. And I remember I was flying over to Japan on one of the first tours, right? And I call it the Japanese experience. And in the middle row, there's like those six seats. And I remember I was on an aisle seat, and the Japanese lady was like 2 seats over. And she sat there, and there was like a guy on the aisle on the other, and she was in the middle. So there was plenty of seats for her to actually, if she wanted to lay down. But my idea is I wanted to lay down too. And I mean, hey, share with me, right? So she was positioning herself. She put her stuff up on the second seat next to me, and then she slowly pushed it to the other seat next to me so I couldn't. She slowly was stretching out and lay down. And I'm like, well, this woman knows what she wants. She didn't ask me if I wanted to split half with her or nothing. And I knew that. I said, if this is what it's like over in Japan, well, I better start, fighting for myself, right? Because She did. She fighted for herself, and that's what she wanted. Damn it, she got it. So that was my first learning of Japan. Like, I mean, she wasn't mean, but she made sure that she was letting me know she was laying down. The second was, standing in line.
Non-verbal communication you're talking about.
Yeah. What'd you say?
Non-verbal communication?
Yeah, non-verbal body, communication. And she was letting me know. And I thought, I just kind of chuckled, and I went, well, there you go. You learn your lesson. You better move quick there, Madusa.